I'ma treat you how you treat me. Do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use a can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried. I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy. I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up. It look like I'm foreign cars driving fast. I never done this before. Yeah, drown out my problems. Let me. When I've been magic with the gang, we ball out. It can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. He finds an opening past the 40. 38 yards on the scamper there. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
We own them. Watch the
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Push him back. Push him back.
On 2nd and 11 now. Dobbs. And he'll find Hall. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, you guys going to come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Check. Fresno. It's free. Ball trot. 52's the mic. Yo, come on, the ball. No. Check that. We want Mike.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this.
Got it. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard, his sixth touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen. 29. 29.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
On first down, Richard. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Dobbs to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. So now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's go.
The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the left hash, this from 46. And Carlson missed it. Pulled it to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
That's trash. 93.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a 1st down as well.
And a Jaguar 1st down.
Down. 180. Get in the weight room. Express. 552. 93. 93. 52.
Carr now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Here's Dobbs. And his throw here's incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
No, check. 52 right here. 52. It's a part.
To throw on 3rd down. Dobbs. He's going to loft it deep right. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Jacobs, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go, let's bring it.
Now Leonard Fournette. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On play action, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here we go. Go to base. Mike. Danny.
They go jet sweep here with Williams. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On 2nd down now, Richard. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
And now he'll tuck it and run. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Back to throw Dobbs. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Maurice Hurst busting through to get him for a loss of 6. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Check back, check back.
Off the bootleg. Dobbs. He's got the hook up with Conley. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Dobbs. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
It's a gain of 14 yards. Complete to Tyrell Williams. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Dobbs. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Fielded at about the 28. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And that will be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The dump-off gets them only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Check 52's the move. 52's the move.
From the gun on 3rd down. Dobbs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Carr. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jacobs. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
On 3rd down, Dobbs. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Fournette. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Carr completes it, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in the East Bay. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. A shotgun give to Fournette. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing now is Carr. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
What now? Ready?
Again, it's Carr. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Carr. Completes it to Davis. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now Carr. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Carr going to throw. He's going to let. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A.J. Boye with a pick. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Let's go, D, let's go.
On first down, it's Jacobs. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
47-yard line.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Ringo. 52 is the mic right here over there.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
It's 4th down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Now, right, 50's the mic. Here we go, G. Here I come.
Fournette, a first down carry. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He was brought down by Trayvon Mullen. A gain of a yard. He's at 2nd and 9 at the 48-yard line.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Oakland, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder patient, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings. I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You run the Christ when I press on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma stick, I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings. I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off.
It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. From my heart and soul, so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, fuck the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This this so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over, he in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ayy, cause he gave me patience. Ayy, swear that all makes sense. Ayy, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ayy, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver. But I'm still a hot boy, cool it down, let it simmer. Ayy, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a faucet. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the gang, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
Southwest, it's a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Ay, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her blame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that? Like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad? Like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag. My bag. You ain't get. Too bad. My bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it. Ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bag, but I'm past that. But